Got a little time before the sun goes down, and so it seems like it would be nice to be out doing some light evening work, late afternoon work. And so this morning I went out to a place not too far from where we live, 15-20 minutes away, where they do all sorts of different crops, and one of them is hay. And I asked the fellow if he sprays, and he doesn't. And he has these round bales that are in pretty nice shape. They're $25 a piece, which is a great deal for our area for unsprayed natural, predominantly grass. It's probably around like 500-600 pounds. 2 of them fit on my truck, and they're nice and round, so if you can get the inertia started, you can roll them off the truck. And now I'd like to do some sweet mulching with them. This one that's queued up right next to our gate will be cut open and brought in flake by flake to renovate the walkways of our garden. That'll be another time, because that'd be a little bit more detail work and probably nicer with a few folks. Like one person with a hay fork can get a clump, walk it in and deposit it, and another person can spread it. But this bale is perched in a really nice spot. I can slice it open and use it to really redo and really define what the walkways are here. It's a simple way for me to cover this pipe. This is a drainage pipe collecting water and getting it away from our high tunnel, which I don't really want to cover in soil because I might have to dig it up again later. So hay will cover that in a nice way, but still allow it to flow and work. And we can get a nice, clear, well-delineated pathway back to our garden, over to the chicken run. So I'm going to get into it. With the wrapper cut off, I can grab it flake by hand, especially for such a short commute here. And I'm not going to go super deep with it except for right over the pipe, so that's a nice smooth walkway. We'll see what I can do in about 2 or 3 minutes and then take another shot. But already in about a minute or so, starting to get a little golden road. I'm not tracking super close, but that's about 3 minutes. And it's not like it's a rush or a competition either, but what I'm getting across is that with just my hands and a little box cutter to open that round bale, with it positioned where I need it, it's amazing how fast you can transform a space. And we can leave some of this cached off to the side, so if weeds start popping up, we have more that we can dress. So instead of pulling weeds and getting down there to rip things out, we can just mulch more over the weeds. We can renovate these garden beds too by adding chicken compost on the edge. So rather than digging down, we'll just bury weeds and redefine more garden space with fresh deposit of compost. So this can keep being a no-till system and just keep building up and up and up. And early in the spring, we're going to be walking so much from our space through and over to the high tunnel. So having a nice, deep, dry hay bedding to walk on makes it really comfortable too. This bale was made in a really nice way. It's somewhat finely chopped, super dry, mainly grass. You can see a bunch of it flaked out, so I can leave this pad here, and then half the bale or the 2/3 of bale that remains is going to be much easier to roll, especially now that we got a little mulch pile here, so I can send it to the far end just by pushing on it. This area is tidied up really nice. It's crystal clear as to where foot traffic is meant to go. You just let folks know if you see hay, you can walk on it. Got a nice cache of backup hay for this immediate area to touch it up here or there. Very generous wide path here that we can bulk out garden beds with more compost a little later. And there's tons of hay left in that bale, not to mention the other bale. So this was about $12 worth of mulch to really renovate this whole space in about 15-20 minutes with pretty minimal effort and no tools. And beyond that, what's really nice, well, first of all the hay just turns into compost over time, but it insulates the soil in the meantime, and we can use that to our advantage in this high tunnel by dressing out the walkways in hay as well. So the dark soil can soak up huge amounts of solar warmth by day, and the hay can kind of buffer in the evenings. A little insulation there. So the main pathway in here is going to be its own thing, another compost heating system later on, but so we'll put hay on top of that for the walkway too. Hay all day. You can see the late day shadows. The evening is creeping in from the west side of the high tunnel over, and so I'll take that as a cue to wind down for this evening and relax, have some stew, and come back out for some more hay stuff later on, another day. We'll share notes. Next video will be in this regard, top dressing some of these beds with compost that we can transplant into in the next month or two. And we'll take a crack at mulching the heck out of the walkways in our main garden, so we just have a contiguous hay walkway from our home out to here. Thanks for watching.